here today because why?
For the food drive, and we're going to send it to the food pantry.
Yep, and why is February 14th important?
Because it's the time of Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, but we're also looking to get donated to our school 214 pounds of food, right?
Yeah.
Right? We all learned this in our classes. I want to thank Mrs. Pagano and Mrs. Farrington, two teachers who organized this, and every year the third grade class does this for the township, for our food bank. All right? Without further ado, I'm going to introduce our mayor, who is going to talk to you a little bit about the food pantry. We also have Miss Debbie Meehan, who is one of our councilwomen in the town, and Mr. Barcelona, who is representing our food pantry. So let's give everybody a nice welcome.
Well, good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
How are you all doing today? Good. Good and not great?
Great.
Great, that's better. Isn't great better than good?
Yeah.
All right. So first I'm going to tell you a little secret. Your teacher here, Miss Pagano, who used to be Miss Cardello, is one of my daughter's best friends. They grew up and went to school together. And now my daughter made the big mistake of going to college in Pittsburgh and meeting a boy and followed the boy to Texas and then followed the boy to Colorado, and then she got married in Colorado. Now she lives 2,000 miles away, and that's not good. Miss Cardello, however, went to school local and stayed home, and she grew up in Edison, and now she's around all the people who love her. And my kid's 2,000 miles away. It's not right. It's not fair. Anyway, how you doing, Liz?
Good, how are you?
All right, hi, Miss Farrington. I know that we met, but hello. So you guys said why we're here today. So it's a very important thing that we do every year. We do it all year, but especially in the winter. Here's what happens. A lot of people think about helping people with food drives and with getting them what they need around Thanksgiving and around Christmas and around the holidays, November and December. But then after Christmas, people kind of forget about it. But if you're hungry all around the year. It doesn't matter what day it is or what month it is. So Mr. Barcelona, way back in 1992, he still works for the township, and he started this program called We Feed Woodbridge. And they do a drive every January into February, right before Valentine's Day, and we call it Have a Heart Food Drive. And it's targeted to Valentine's Day, and we ask people to bring 214 pounds of food, or some people who can donate $214. What's the significance of 214? Anybody know? What? For February 14th, right? Very good. Very good. So that's why we tie all this around Valentine's Day. And we go to all the schools, and a lot of different student councils help out, and sometimes different groups that the principal picks out, and they collect food in all the schools. And we go all around the town, and we pick up the food. And then Mr. Barcelona is in charge of getting it to the food pantries, and they divide it up, and they put it on the shelves. And then they call the people who need the food, and they come and pick it up. And sometimes they drop it off to the house if the people can't get out because they don't drive or don't have a car. So it's a really, really good thing that you have done, because you're helping people who don't otherwise have food. And sometimes it could be kids your age. You don't even know. You can't even tell some days who kids are that maybe didn't have a full breakfast or maybe didn't have a full dinner the night before. You can't even tell who they are. I could walk into a sports game and there'll be 100 people in the stands, and maybe there's 5 of them that didn't have dinner. I don't know who they are. So you're helping people you don't even know, which is very, very important. Now I'd like to introduce Debbie Meehan. She is the council person, and you don't know civics yet, but I'm in the executive branch of government. She's in the legislative branch of government. She keeps an eye on me to make sure I don't do anything crazy, right? You'll learn that probably in 4th grade. And she's very involved in helping people whenever there's a tragedy in town or somebody is ill. She always organizes like a spaghetti dinner or a breakfast or something else to help the people, and she does a wonderful job as our town council person in Colonia. So if any of you live in Colonia, she is your council person. Debbie Meehan.
How's everybody today? You all have your red on for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I forgot.
Well, you have pink.
I
You're
didn't
close.
wear,
You're
I didn't
close.
wear it for the right reason. I just happened to pick pink.
So what you did here today is very, very important. Have you ever been hungry? Where maybe mom was busy and you wanted dinner and your stomach was grumbling and you were really hungry. Well, there's some people that feel like that every single day and every meal. Sometimes they don't know if they're going to be able to eat. So what you did, even if it's 1 box of food or 2 boxes of food or you collected a couple dollars, it really matters to those people because there are a lot of young children like yourselves that sometimes go to bed hungry. So we always have to remember to give food whenever you can, a can of food, because it goes a long way. So what you all did today is really, really important. So thank you for helping us help the food bank and people that are hungry here in Woodbridge Township. Did a good job.
All right. And now the guy who's responsible for getting all this food from the people who donated to the people who need it, and that's Peter Barcelona. I'd like him to say a few words now.
Good morning, boys and girls, and thank you again for your generous donation, and Ms. Martino and the teachers and the students and faculty here at School 26. As the mayor said, we have 11 food pantries in town. We help about 1,400 families a month, which is a lot of families that otherwise would be without food. So your donation is very important, as Debbie says. People go to bed hungry every day, but we're there to ensure that no one goes to bed hungry. Our pantries are operating every day. That's why normally we would have volunteers here today, but it's a Tuesday, and our pantries are open this morning. So our volunteers are busy working. We have over 100 volunteers in our 11 food pantries that work very diligently every day to serve the people of Woodbridge to make sure that no one goes hungry. Our food drive is ending now, but our food drive goes all throughout the year. So there's never a wrong time to give food, or if you have the ability to give money. To date, we probably raised over $50,000, as well as we wrap up the school food drives. We have about 17 schools that are participating. We should collect about 20,000 pounds of food. So it's a lot of food, but a lot of food because the need is great. So thank you for your help.
Great. Who can tell me what you think we use the money for? Yes.
Help people in need.
Help people in need, but how do we use it? What do we buy? Yes, sir.
You buy food or clothes for the winter?
Food or clothes for the winter, yeah, but nope, you already had a chance with somebody who didn't go ahead.
You can donate it.
Yeah, but what do we buy? What do you think we buy? What do you look behind me here? What don't you see? Who? Food. What kind of food? What? Healthy food, yes.
They can buy a house.
You could buy a house. Not really. Only if you're playing Monopoly you could buy a house. Yes.
Fresh food.
There you go. Keep going. Tell me what kind of fresh food.
Like
You got this.
meat.
Meat. What else? Milk. What else?
Cheese.
Cheese. You're on a roll, man. Keep going. What else? Vegetables. Yeah, this guy's great. Give him a gold star for the class. That's what you do, man. You buy things, because what happens if you brought in a carton of milk and you put it in the box? What would happen? It would what?
It would get spoiled.
It'd get spoiled. And if you brought in cheese, it'd get some stanky cheese pretty soon, wouldn't it? This place would smell awful. And meat would go bad, right? And vegetables would go bad, and produce and all that, yes. Fruit, that's another good one. That's another good one you can buy. So that's why we collect money and food, because this gives you, these are called non-perishables because they can stay forever. Well, not forever, but the perishables, we can't collect them, so we buy them. And Peter goes to a place in Hillside, and he'll walk in with all the money, and he'll buy stuff, and then he'll bring it over to the food pantries, and people pick it up when it's fresh. So that's really important. All right, so how are we doing? Are we doing a picture first or wait to the end? What's the story?
We're going to wait till the end when we have all their props.
We got doing the procs at the end?
Yeah, let's do the props now.
Procs now, okay. You all get official mayor proclamations, one at a time. And when I call your name, come up and take the proclamation and wave to the camera and say, "Hi, Mom." Guru Sravan Ataboina. Nice job, young man. Estella Baliu. Congratulations, thank you. Upneet Chera. Thank you. Emily Chiseri.
You're not waving to the camera.
Yeah, you get your big chance. Bruno M. Chavasco. Thought it was too attached. Saktyavantika Chezian. There you go. Sarah Alban Gitanjali. All right. Helene V. Cortez. Gurveer Gill. Sashanik Code. Samantha Hurley. There you go. Kavir Jadav. Aliyah A. Khalil. Aliyah? Aliyah, sorry. What happened to your hand, your wrist?
I broke it.
You broke it? And what'd you do?
I fell in school.
Fell in school? You got a good lawyer? No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's just an accident. Aliza Khan. Param Machi. Samantha Magaletta. There you go. Alicia Martin. Melania Massimino. Wait, what's your dad's name?
Jason?
Jason. Okay. Are you related to Joe Massimino? Is that your uncle? Yeah. Cool. Thank you. He's a cool guy. Stanley S. Matthew. Is Sean Maida?
She's
Absent. Everly Morrison.
She's absent.
Nope. Kylie Morrison. There you go. Jaden Pagan. Aruni Patel. Niam Patel, or Niam. Niam? Did you just correct the mayor on national TV? Shiv Patel. Suhani Patel. John William Rivera. Emily Sanchez. Dikshitha Sachis Kumar. Kritin Sethia. Marlene Shanuda. Kashfi Shukla. Iman Siddiqui. Avian Singh. Lily Sparks. Alexander Stachersky, the guy who knew fresh food. Good job, man. Good job. Alexandra Titone. Ezra Toro. Magtengal Gott Villaflor. Brian Wegg. And two special proclamations for Ms. Lisa Farrington. Wow, is this your very first mayor's proclamation? You may have another one. Oh boy, from me? Oh, okay. And Ms. Leslie Pagano. I can give her a kiss. I can do that because we're friends. It's okay. So we're going to take a picture when we're all done. Yeah, now we have what is one of my favorite parts about coming to this school every year, and I'm sure you guys know that because you're probably prepared. So we do ask the mayor any question you want, and the mayor tries to answer it. What? Not yet. Relax. Relax. So this is, I think third graders are the coolest. You know why? Because you're old enough not to be silly, right? Because kindergarten kids, when you were in kindergarten, what'd you ask the mayor? Oh, mayor, do you drive a big car? Oh, mayor, do you have a big house? Oh, mayor, do you have a plane? I have a Ford Explorer, I have a regular house, and I don't have a plane, okay? And then you go to middle school, and they're like, oh, the mayor's here, like, so what? Like, who cares, right? So third grade is like the perfect age where you're smart enough to ask good questions that are very thoughtful and clever, but you're not too cool for school, you know what I mean? So I'm sure your teachers, Ms. Farrington and Mrs. Pagano, told you all that, and I'm sure you prepared some really cool questions. So if I don't know the answers, I got a whole bunch of people back there that will know them. So let's start front row over here. Go.
What types of food pantries are you going there?
What kind of food pantries? Well, there's 11 of them.
Or are you going to give like each of the ones at the same amount?
Oh, that's a good question. Do we give each of the ones the same amount? Peter, you answer that one. Come here. Do we give each of the ones, they tell us what they need, right?
Usually what we do is we'll divide part of the money up for the food pantry.
The money we split up evenly, yeah.
And then we usually buy what we need, and then we also use it for gift cards, because some people have dietary restrictions and needs. So we use gift cards so someone can buy exactly what they need.
So when we take these to a central place in the health center, and then the food pantries, they come and take what they need, right?
Correct.
So if they need vegetables or if they need cereal, that's where they'll go and they'll pick up what they need. Good question, though. Yes.
Plus, we have a storage facility now that the mayor graciously
Oh, that's right.
acquired for us last fall. So we have a central location now down on Main Street in Woodbridge. So a lot of the food is sent to that location, and then at that point, it's the pantries will come and use that, and then they pick up on a regular basis. We have refrigeration freezers there, and so they'll pick up from there on an as-needed basis. So we use it as our storage area.
One of the cool things, if there's like a restaurant that has extra food and it's going to go bad, so they'll bring it to us. And we have companies that, will drop off truckloads of food, and now we have freezers and refrigerators. So if we ever get something that is perishable, we can store it there in our own place, which is really neat.
I can speak about that.
Go ahead.
Actually, we just started a new program in January called Restaurant to the Rescue. So what we're doing is we're teaming up with different restaurants around town. At the end of the day, they might have some leftover chicken parmesan, they might have some chicken wings, whatever the case may be. So then they'll package it up in small packaging. We send the volunteers that pick it up the next day. It goes to our storage facility, put in a freezer, and it goes right to our pantry, so we're able to feed people that way as well. So it's a new program, just started last month, called Restaurant to the Rescue. So, yep.
All right, you go ahead.
How would I like being the mayor?
How do I like being the mayor? Do you think I like being the mayor? Does everybody think I like being the mayor? Well, I don't. I love being a mayor. I tricked you. I tricked you. It's a really cool job. Yes, you want to go? Nothing? You want to go something? You have a question? I'm going to keep going down. Question? Go ahead. Do I have any siblings? Yes, I'm the oldest of 5. It's me, and then it's my sister Anne Marie, then it's my brother Kevin, then it's my sister Maureen, then it's my brother Tommy. So I'm the oldest, and the best looking, and the smartest, and the coolest, but not really. My 2 sisters are way smarter than me, believe it or not. They really are. My brother's not so much. Don't tell him I said that. Yes? Do I get nervous when I what? Do I get nervous when I do speeches? I have to say a little bit, yeah. I mean, in the beginning, I got very nervous. But then the good thing about speaking is, no, I'll get to you, don't worry. The good thing about being public speaker is that the more you do it, the more comfortable you get doing it. So now, not so much, although I did give a big speech last Friday, and it's a little bit, you think about it, but when I first started, yeah, I used to be very nervous. Yeah, how about you? Question?
What's it like?
What's it like being a mayor? Well, it's a whole load of fun, and it's a lot of responsibility, and I have to make the right decisions for the right reasons at the right time to make sure people get what they need. So it's a big responsibility, but we have a really cool office and a really cool staff, and I work with a lot of people I like working with, so that takes a lot of the pressure off, and we just try to do the right thing. That's all we do. All right, you're next. How old am I? You're not supposed to ask a man how old he is. Shouldn't ask anybody how old they are, really, but I'm 64. I know it. I don't look a day over 44. I know. Don't say it. You're next.
How was it like before you became a mayor?
Before I became the mayor,
Yeah.
I was an accountant. I worked for the state and I worked for the town, and I was in charge of all the money for the state and all the money for the town. So all the money that came in, big piles of cash, I'd make a big pile of all the bills, and then I would jump in it. And I'd play around in a whole big pile of money. And then I'd pick it up and put it in order and bring it to the bank. But no, I didn't do that, did I? No, because you don't get that much cash. But no, I was in charge of all the people paid their taxes, and then I have to pay people who work for us. Then I have to buy stuff for the town, like police cars or garbage trucks, and I had to pay the insurance bills, and I had to buy office supplies. I was in charge of anything to do with money. I was in charge of it, which is a pretty cool job. Yes? Nothing?
What's the hardest part of being the mayor?
That's a good question. I always get that question. The hardest part about being the mayor is when people that work for us do things they shouldn't do, and we have to take action. Like sometimes we have to suspend them, and sometimes we have to discipline them, and sometimes we have to tell them they can't work for us anymore. And that happens more than you think, because people sometimes do things they shouldn't do. And it's not easy telling somebody you can't work for us anymore. But if you do things like steal, then you can't work for us, right? So you gotta be, if you work for the town, you gotta be on your game. You gotta do good things for the right reason, or you're not gonna be able to work for us anymore. Yes?
What's the
Easiest
easiest thing being the mayor?
thing being the mayor is this. This is easy. I come and talk to third graders. How cool is that? Piece of cake. I could do this blindfolded. Well, no, I couldn't, then I wouldn't know where I was going. You're next. You're next. Nothing?
Was the mayor your dream job?
Was the mayor my dream job? Not growing up, not really. I didn't know much about being the mayor. When I was a kid, when I was your age, I wanted to be a dentist. Because when I went to the dentist, it was Dr. Puma on Ford Avenue in Ford's. I lived in Menlo Park Terrace right across the highway, and I loved my dentist, and I wanted to be a dentist. And then one day I started thinking about it, and I said, all right, do I want to spend the rest of my life sticking my fingers in people's gross, smelly, bad breath mouth to look at their teeth and fill them and take them out? Ew, it's a disgusting job. So I became an accountant, and I became the mayor. But I really did want to be a dentist when I was a kid. You're next.
What is your favorite basketball team?
My favorite basketball team? I'm afraid to say it, man, after last week. The Nets. They're so bad, man. They bring everybody in, the superstars, now they're all gone and they still have no titles, and now they're starting all over. I don't get it. You want to bring in KD and Kyrie and Harden, then you get rid of Harden, then you get rid of Kyrie, then you get rid of KD. What's left? Spencer Dinwiddie? It's all we got left, Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't want to count on a guy named Dinwiddie to lead my basketball team. Yes? My favorite sport when I was a little kid is baseball, and it's still my favorite sport. I played baseball when I was a kid, but I was not very good. I was actually pretty stinky. In fact, I'll tell you this, I always tell this story. I was so bad that when they had the draft when I was 8 years old, which means the managers all sit in a room and they divide the kids up, who's going to be on which team. So they had a rule that the managers were allowed to automatically pick their kids, right? Because if you're going to manage a team, you want your kid to be on the team, except not always. So they go around the room and they say, Tom Gibson, you want your son Joey? He said, yeah. John Kimberlin, you want your son Joey? Yeah. Bob Tarrant, you want your son Bobby? He said, yeah. John McCormick, do you want your son Johnny? He said, no. He said no, and he picked Eddie Leckliter instead of me. It was embarrassing. And the second round, did he pick me? No. He picked Chucky Sabbath. Third round, he picked Russell Elliott. Fourth round, he picked Ronnie Compton. And no one else picked me because they know I was stinky. So they figured, I'm not going to pick that kid. And my father said, I'm not going to pick him because no one else is going to pick him. And then the very last pick, guess what they said to my father? Do you want your son Johnny now? And he said, of course I do. What a embarrassing moment for me. You already went, didn't you? Okay, you go next. Nothing? How about you? Nothing? How about you? How long have you been the mayor? Let's see, 16 years, 3 months and 1 day. November 13th, 2006. How about you? Nothing? Wait, Massimino has no questions? Uh-oh, wait till I tell Uncle Joey. No, I'm only kidding. Yes? It's got to be a question. We'll do statements later. You got a question? My favorite color? Usually green, because I'm Irish, and because green's the color of money. Get it? Yeah. But no, green's pretty much my favorite color. Yes?
When's your birthday?
My birthday? What, you want to buy me something? Want to buy me a present? It's a big year coming up. I'll be 65. May 27th is my birthday, and this year it's on Memorial Day weekend. That'll be a cool party, huh? A big birthday party on a holiday weekend. You can't get any better than that. Yes? Nothing? Nothing? What's the matter? How about you? What made me want to be the mayor? That's a very good question. So I told you I worked for the town. I was the town's accountant, right? Which means I was everywhere the mayor was because I was in charge of all the money. So everything he did, I had to know about it, and I had to let him know if he had the money to do it. And I sat in on all the meetings. I went to all the public meetings. I went to all the events, and I got to say, wow, that's a pretty cool job. Someday when the time comes, I would like to do that job. And like you figure what happened, the time came, and I decided to run for mayor. And thankfully, I won the election, and I've won since then, and I'm still the mayor. So it's pretty cool. You're next. Nothing? 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 Come on, vegetable guy.
How much food did you get in all?
Well, last year we did a statistic. So in 2022, we raised 110,000 pounds of food and $120,000. That's pretty serious. You think of how much you can buy with $120,000. And what's here? What's this, Peter? Like 1,000 pounds of food? So if this is 1,000 pounds of food, we collected 110 of these last year. Look at all this food. We collected 110 of these last year. That's a lot. That's because Peter does a terrific job, and Debbie and everybody else. And you know who the real cool people are? The ones that run the food pantries, because they're the ones that work there. They volunteer. They don't work. They volunteer, but it's a lot of work. Okay, all the way in the corner. Nice and loud. Where's the food bank? There's 11 of them. There's one right across the tracks in St. Cecilia's School 29. I keep calling it St. Cecilia's. Oak Tree Road, School 29. There's a church there, and they have a food pantry there. There's one. Where else is the nearest one, Peter? Avenel?
Well, Island Presbyterian.
Oh, Island Press has one too, right?
And then Berkeley Avenue here,
Oh, the Assembly of God. Now it's Evangel Church.
Evangel Church of Woodbridge is one is Avenel Presbyterian Church in Avenel.
So there's 3 in Island. We're in Island right now. There's 3 of our 11 food pantries are here in Island. Yes, sir. What kind of question do you? Who told you to ask that? Am I trying to become governor, or am I going to be the mayor?
Or the president?
No, I'm not trying to become governor. It'd be cool to be the governor, but you know what's awful? Running for governor. That's terrible. Like, you have to expose your whole life and everything you've ever done, and they're going to start finding things over my, not that I've ever done anything bad, but I'm not always perfectly good, you know what I mean? But yeah, being governor would be really cool, because I used to work in Trenton and I saw what the governor did. I worked with him every day. It'd be cool, but I don't want to run for governor. I'm very happy here, very satisfied here. This is a good job. I don't know if I was made for the job or the job was made for me, but it's fun. Yes? When I was in 3rd grade, I went right across it was St. Cecilia's School then. Now it's Oak Tree Road, School 29. But I went to school, all my family went there, And then we went to St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Edison. And I went to kindergarten in school 19. So it's fun when I go there. I remember my classroom. I remember Mrs. Walwork was my teacher. And I remember I loved finger painting. And I remember the blocks with the sticks, and you had to build houses and stuff like that. It was like Legos before Legos. It was really cool. You're next. Do I know why? Because they're very smart. She said, why did people elect me to be the mayor? Because they're very smart. People are very smart. No, because, I don't know. Because, you know what, probably why? Because I had experience in government. So when I first ran, I had worked already 14 years in government. And the people who ran against me, there were 3 of them, none of them ever worked in a government before. So I would guess that your parents and your grandparents probably looked and saw 4 names, and the papers usually list what your history is, right? And when they put down that I worked in government for 14 years and the other 3 people didn't, I guess that's why they voted for me. You're next. Nothing? How about you?
Before you became the mayor, and what high school did you go to?
I went to St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Edison. That's where my daughter went to. Pretty cool. Okay, we can keep going for another round if anybody has a second question. Yes. Yes. I went to Rutgers College undergrad for accounting, and I went to St. John's University for a master's degree in finance.
Oh, I looked at the geology museum. It was really cool.
Say it again?
I saw the geology museum.
Geology?
Yeah, it was really
You like that? Pretty cool subject. You don't like it?
No, I have a question.
Oh, you have a question?
Before you became mayor, how many mayors did you work for?
Just one. Before I was mayor, there's just one I worked for. I worked for him for 10 years. Yes.
How long have you been married?
I've been mayor for 16 years, 3 months, and 1 day.
Wow.
Whoa is right. Yes.
So when the election began, or what
Good
mayor were
question.
you going against?
The election is going to be this November 7th, and I actually am going to run again for 4 years. You get a 4-year term at a time. And just last night, I was approved by my group of political party, it's called. It's complicated, but I'm going to run. And then by March 27th, the other side has to pick who they're going to run against me. And then all summer and all fall, we campaign. And I talk to people and say why you should vote for me. And he or she says why you should vote for them. And then on November 7th, your parents all go to a place for election day. And they walk into a booth, they pull the curtain, they say 2 names, John McCormick and Mr. Knucklehead. And they have to decide, who do I want running my town, John McCormick or some knucklehead? And hopefully they vote for me and I become the mayor for 4 more years. That's a good question, though. Yes, you got one now. How old was I when I decided I wanted to be mayor? I was 48. Wait, when I decided I was 47. I think when I was elected, I was 48. Yes. Baseball team? Well, if you've ever been to my office, you would all know my favorite baseball team is the Yankees. Yeah. Wow, you're mad about that? Or are you happy? You're happy. Good girl. Yes. Do I have any what? Kids, 1 daughter, 32, lives in Denver, far away. Talked to her last night. Going to see her in 2 weeks. It's going to be fun. I'm flying all the way out to Denver to see my kid and go to a concert. Bruce Springsteen, by the way, my favorite artist. Yes. Oh, yeah, trophies. Yeah, I do that all the time. What, did you get one? For cheer? Oh, okay. So this is your second award from the mayor. Yeah, I go to a lot of the football teams, baseball teams, cheerleading teams, especially if they win tournaments and stuff, and we hand them out proclamations. So that's pretty cool. Yes.
Did you pick any basketball team in the World Cup?
If I pick a basketball team, I don't like any of them now. I really don't. I'm not a big basketball fan. I like college. I like Rutgers. Of course I like Rutgers. Yes, we're going to make this quick.
When you were in college, did you decide to do it?
When I was in college, what?
Did you decide to do anything like play basketball
No, I didn't play sports. The only sport I played was baseball and a little bit of football when I was a kid, but I was so stinky, it just wasn't worth it. I would rather be home reading than playing sports. And I don't watch TV. I do puzzles and I read books. That's what I do now. I'm a real nerd. I'm a real nerd. You guys don't know what a nerd is. You do? That's me. That's me. I would rather sit and do a puzzle or read a book than do sports. I mean, I watch sports, but I'm stinky at them. All right, yes. What is what? When am I going to retire? It's not up to me when I retire. It's up to your parents and grandparents when I retire. They could put me into retirement before I want to go. Yes. How to become the mayor? I had an election, and everybody went to the polls, and they picked from among 4 names, and thankfully they picked me. Yes.
Do you like soccer?
Do I like soccer? Not really. I don't really like soccer. I got to be honest with you. I can't say I like soccer. All my friends are going to watch TV and said, you said you like soccer, but you hate soccer. I really hate soccer. I don't like anything about it. It is boring.
No, it's
Yes.
What's your favorite football team?
Oh, favorite football team, the Giants. Yes. And you know what? I'm happy the Eagles lost because I'm a Giants fan.
No.
Yes. And I do like Mahomes, and I do like the Chiefs, and they have 2 guys from Rutgers on their team, and they both played in the same play once in the Super Bowl on Sunday. I like the Chiefs, but I don't like the Eagles. All right, 2 more. You 2. Go ahead.
Do you like tennis?
I like tennis. I did play tennis. I forgot about that. I did play tennis in high school. I was first doubles. Last question. Last question.
If you don't want to run for the governor, what about the president?
If I don't want to run for governor, what about the president? Very few mayors run for president, except Pete Buttigieg, who actually has less people in South Bend, Indiana than I have in Woodbridge. So if he can run for president, why the heck can't I? But I'm kidding. God, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to travel all over the world. You know, I'll get tired.
You get exhausted.
I'll get exhausted. All right, we're going to do picture now?
Yeah, I have one thing. I have a fun fact for you.
Uh-oh.
Even though the mayor says that he was stinky at sports, he likes sports, ask him how many games he announces for the high school and other events.
Now that's fun. If that's as I love announcing games. In fact, I'm probably doing one tomorrow. Our hockey team's playing for the county championship. I do like announcing sports. I do baseball is my favorite. Softball is great. We do football. We do basketball, boys and girls. We do soccer, but I let someone else do that because I just find it so boring. We do bowling. We've done swimming. We do a lot of. That's fun. Calling games on TV is fun. It doesn't mean I'm good at it. It just means, no. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm good at sports. It means I like figuring out what's going on and announce it on TV. So anyway, no, we're done with questions. Let's go our picture. Hello and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. We're at Oak Tree Road, School 29 on our Have a Heart Food Drive tour. I'm joined to my left by 5th Ward Councilwoman Debbie Meehan. To her left is Peter Barcelona, who is our We Feed Woodbridge Food Drive coordinator. Right in the middle there is the guidance counselor and I guess the head of the advisor for the National Elementary Honor Society, Jody DiSilvestro. And to the far right is Miss Osborne, who is the principal of Oak Tree Road Elementary School number 29. We're here today with the boys and girls from the Honor Society, who I guess were in charge of the food drive. So who's going to start it off, take the microphone and tell me what exactly did the Honor Society do for the food drive? Who wants to give it a shot? Nobody? You? Okay, come on over. Stand right in front. Turn around, face the camera, tell me exactly what you did to collect the food.
So basically, we went over to all the classrooms and asked if we wanted to, if they had any food drive for like the people. And
How did they know to bring in the food?
oh, so we met up in this one room, and then everybody like talked it out, and the teachers gave us names to each classroom.
Okay. And how did the kids know to tell their parents? Did they get a flyer? Was it email? What was it?
I think it was like an email or something.
An email?
It was email, and then there was announcements for the students.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So did you each have like different classrooms you were in charge of?
Yeah.
What were you in charge of?
I was in charge of Miss Butt's class,
What grade is that?
second.
Second, okay. And who was in charge of kindergarten?
Wait. Oh yeah, that. I was second
Oh, it
floor.
was by floor.
Yeah.
So
Forgot.
how did you talk to the kids and say, hey, you know, we're having this food drive. Can you ask your mom and dad for a box or can of food?
Yeah.
Did you put the
Basically.
pressure on the kindergarten kids
No.
and say, hey, look, I think you better give us a box or can of food, or else I'm not sure what might happen to you tomorrow, huh?
No.
Tell them what this kid in each class in the grade that got the most, what they got to do.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh, timeout.
Oh.
I guess it'll be 12 times, huh?
So, Miss Lee, I've kind of forgot.
All right. 13. What's up with that? 33, 34.
Wait, seconds.
Oh, it goes for a minute?
Park in the church a lot again.
39 times the bell rang. Oh my goodness. You said it's 1 minute? Oh, they do this every day?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, guess what happens when you're next to a church?
Yeah. And so, the reward for each class for each grade was we all went in the gym, and the person who had the most like food delivered got to pie a teacher in the face.
No way.
Yeah.
No. Did you get to pick the teacher?
Yeah.
No way. Did anybody pick Miss DiSilvestro?
Yeah.
Oh, how was that? What kind of pie was it?
It was some nice whipped cream. It tasted pretty good.
Whipped cream? If you ever pick me, I like cherry pies.
Ooh.
All right?
Yeah.
But you're never going to pie me. I got news for you.
I love sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie. It is illegal to pie the mayor in Woodbridge Township.
Okay.
It's punishable by jail time.
Okay.
You can go to jail for a week for pieing the mayor.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. So you're never going to do that, are you?
Nope.
All right. Good. What else you want to say? How does it make? Anybody else want to tell me how it feels to have helped people? Anybody? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Nice job, young lady. How does it feel?
It feels good, and yeah, it's good, and
All right.
you feel happy when you feel when you help other people, and
That's
and
good.
when you help someone, they feel good, and then someone else will help another person, and they will feel good, and then it keeps on going, and it makes everyone happy.
Wow. Very good. Good job, man. Good job. Who had their hand up? How about you? How does it make you feel knowing?
It makes me feel kind of like positive and want to continue it, because as we're helping people, like I end up getting happy, and then other people get happy, and then a chain reaction happens.
Very good. All right. Miss DiSilvestro, anything you want to say?
No, I just wanted to say we couldn't do it without all of these empathetic students wanting to give out to our community. So thank you.
All right, Miss Osborne. Jill, you have anything you want to say about your student council?
I can tell you, it was a great endeavor, and the children worked hard. Miss D worked so hard, but I just couldn't get over the amount of food. Like, it was mounds and mounds and bags and bags. So the entire school community came out, and I'm really proud of all of them.
All right. So I got a very important question. If you collected so much food, where the heck is it?
They picked it up.
They picked it up. Somebody picked up the food before we had a chance to come here and take a picture with the kids in front of all the food. Let me ask Mr. Barcelona to tell you guys what this means and how this all works very quickly. Peter?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, boys and girls, Madam Principal, Mrs. D. Thank you again for your support of the Have a Heart food drive. Have a Heart is wrapping up this week, but as we tell everybody in the community, Have a Heart goes all year long. So we Hunger never takes a vacation in the summer, the holiday times. So continue the good work, supporting the community because you're helping your neighbor without even realizing you're helping your neighbor. So on behalf of the people that we serve, thank you very much.
And Debbie Mead is a council person. You're in, what grade are you guys, 5th? So you probably had civics, 4th grade civics, you know, legislative branch and executive branch. All right, what branch am I? What? Who knows? Who wants to take a guess? What branch is the mayor? What?
Executive.
Executive, correct. Now Debbie is on the township council. Who wants to take a guess at what her branch is? Legislative, right. You guys are smart. And there's nobody here who's a judge. What branch would that be?
Judiciary.
Very good. You guys are smart. So Debbie's going to say a few words now, and she is, like I said, a member of our town council, which means she checks what I do, and I help her do what she does. That's the way government works. It's checks and balances. Deb?
So thank you all for your donation and for helping other people in the community. One thing I noticed when you were all talking was that you felt good about doing something, and that person felt good about doing something. So there's a key factor in that is to pay it forward. And as you continue to grow up and go into middle school and high school, continue to do that. Give a can of food. Tell your friends to give a can of food because it'll make a lot of people feel good. So thank everybody for what you did. You did a really good job.
Oak Tree Road School.